Sunshine, coming to you with your quick energy update. I forgot I didn't have this lit. Let me see if we're going to do it. All right, we're going to check into the energies, for this weekend, which starts now until Monday. That's where it extends to. Okay, let me put my glasses on so I can see as well. Hope everybody's doing fine this weekend. It is stormy and cloudy in the sky today. Shy is cloudy. Okay, so now I said I come down here real quick. Plus I had a love letter that I got to do. Don't forget to get your divine love letters from me. It's going to be all the way into the end of July, and then I am stopping that special for $14. It will go up to $22, and then I am going to add on another component to it as well. So if you want it just for $14 at that low price, then you can make sure that you get in on that special. Go to Divineunisouls11.co. Let's check in and see what's going on with the divine masculine this weekend. Real quick. Okay. So what we got here is the divine masculine says written communication. So I'm picking up that the divine masculine wants to start some kind of communication with his divine counterpart this weekend. Because it says part focus. Now something is causing him to be a little kind of distracted beforehand. This is like past before, and so with this written communication is helping him to get more focused in on what he needs to actually zoom in on and target in on as far as him and his life. We'll get into it. Also, we'll be talking about, it's a dreaming and sleeping competitive. Again, they pick it up to me again. A lot of times the powers that be or the angels or source has been downloading him at night. Because when he's in his waking state, he does a lot of competing against what things is being brought to him. So again, this divine masculine energies collectively are at the point that they're still not in a waking state, trusting what's being brought to them in their waking state. But when they're dreaming, they get the downloads more, and that's in the alpha state. We know that even beyond that into the delta state, where you're able to get all of that alpha, theta, delta state, all that information gets into you, so you can be able to take that and make changes. Over the course of the day, you always inundated with a lot of information, a lot of stimuli, people saying this, if you got the karmic situation, all those kind of different things, and that causes it hard for you to really be able to kind of like focus in on things, and so this state, while you're calm, the things, you don't have those distractions, you don't have anybody like, hey boss, can I get your signature on this, that, those distractions there's no competing of attention. When you're in the sleep state, it's just like, that's just it. You have source say, now I got your undivided attention. Now you can't go anywhere. When we're talking about the divine feminine, this weekend, so that means the divine master is going to get a lot of, over this weekend, a lot of dreams. A lot of dream states, a lot of things. Divine masculine energies, and remember, we all house that, so some of us will all feel that as well. What's going on with the divine feminine this weekend? Okay, so with the divine feminine, I see with her, she is the apostle Mary Magdalene. Okay, which is the apostle to the apostles. I am the bridge between heaven and earth. I am fully human and fully divine. What I see here in this card is that the divine feminine is learning how to bridge both things together, such as heaven and earth, like it is in heaven, like on earth as it is in heaven, trying to get both of those dimensions together. I watched K Moon, and she was saying, you know, people were thinking that, again, that when you're talking about the different dimensions, like 3D, 4D, 5D, it's like it's a layer, like an onion. She said, but she pictured it like one of those, what is this thing? It's like an egg where you have like a little person inside a little person inside a little person, and it's just like it's all incumbent together. It's all there together. So all those different layers. So it's not like something that you got to rise up to. It, to her, she says it's been brought to her that we have those third, fourth, and fifth D dimensions with us all of the time. So it's like little weeble people. It's like little people, and there's one inside the other one inside the other, as well. And so this is what she's understanding. Again, you hear some people say, I'm a human being having spiritual. I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. Understanding that connection about the two. And that's kind of pretty much what I was talking about in the trigger warning as well as too. It's like get out the head, because the head to me is more so of a connection with more the earth. And get more in touch with your heart, which is more so the heaven. That's where you can be able to make that connection, because more so you have been trained through your mind how to be able to deal with things. And I liked how they were saying, and I was watching, I'll have that in the community tab, about K Moon talking about union, and was saying that a lot of us now are having issues with understanding that we're moving to a new dimension in which understanding that, you know, where we are, we can't really be able to get there with our mindsets at all. And so he was talking about that all throughout. And again, I've told you on the show a lot of times that the soul is residence in your heart space as well. So understanding that in order for us to become fully human and fully divine, we have to make this great marriage between the two of these. And a lot of times when it comes to divine feminines, we like to stay up in the upper realms. We like to stay in the 5th D, or would you put it, that other thing, the 5th D, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, right there. We're talking about that. We're housed in that. We don't think about staying in the 3D too much, like connection. I think we've kind of weighed down, and we've gotten a little bit more anchored into that now. So, but some of us still, you know, like I like to talk to him in 5th D. I like to have sex with him in 5th D. I like to, you know, do everything with him in 5th D. And when you see him in 3D, like I said one time before, I can't stand them. It's just like, okay, wait a second, we got a problem. You know, everything manifests, everything go fine. And then when I start thinking about doing things in the 3D, it don't match up. So let's look at the overall energies for just twin flames period for this weekend. What is the overall energies? Clear. Spirals of manifestation. Okay, good. So these manifestations are going to come in several ways. Manifestations such as ascension, they bring it to me. Manifestations as far as downloads. Manifestations of seeing more so on the spiritual. This is what I'm looking at on this one. I'm not picking up, it's like manifestations such as in a material thing. When I looked at it, first thing came to me is this more of like energy shifting, frequencies changing, being like of that nature. Maybe you might say my gifts is coming in. You know, I'm feeling this coming in a little bit more now. You know, I see dead people. Maybe you do, or you see auras and lights and all this kind of stuff, or you telepath using telekinesis and things of that nature as well. I'm going to use that for that one. And so this is what's going on. So this is why they're saying, and I see why they say you should do that first. So when we're talking about for the divine feminine again, these things is helping her to kind of understand the manifestation and the frequency of how the heaven and earth are coming together. This could be also with downloads coming from heaven, download into earth, which is us, body, earthly body, as well. The divine masculines also with them, understanding that this spiral manifestation again, this thing is about written focus. Now to me, this is the earth. Now this is how they're kind of really symbolize and kind of mirror each other. Something that's going to be communicated to the divine masculine in the written thing is going to act like a trigger process for him to start saying, okay, start manifesting things. Now what it is, I do not know. Could be in regards to him and his finances, could be in regards to him, I'm picking, they tell me like finances, the relationship, things that could maybe help him to get a bigger scope of things. Maybe some of them have went to the lawyer. I'm picking this up too. They say somebody had come to the lawyer, maybe they want a divorce from the karmic, and they're getting a really better perspective as far as where their standpoint is and where they stand at it, and maybe they're getting a little bit more confident, say, yeah, I could do this. This ain't that bad. You know, written communication maybe from a divine counterpart, divine feminine too as well, or maybe the karmic maybe it said something to him that's like, oh, okay, now wait a second, I was looking one way, but now what you said there just opened my eyes to you. So you know, it's to me, is again, it's this scope here and doing it much wider thing. And I think that even came in K Moon, he was saying about that, something about this, and so you need to open it up and have more of a wider scope when it comes to this twin flame journey too as well. And so again, this dream is going to help them again. That's heaven to earth again, downloads into you to help to be able to get this, stop this competing, conflicting stuff that's going on. So, you know, they're getting programmed almost like the Matrix, like when you plug them in and they getting all this, like all of a sudden he knew Kung Fu. He's like, oh, this is neat again. And now you get all this stuff. So maybe they might wake up and say, oh, I know a way how to get out this third party situation. You know, or, oh, I know how to get some more money. Something like, you know, the whole project came to me all of a sudden. I know how to get some more money now. You know, so things of that nature might be also occurring and manifesting that way. But I'm not getting it's a material thing. It's more so of a spiritual manifestations. It's going to be happening this weekend for the twin flames as well. That's what's going on. Okay, what's the heart of the matter for the divine feminine? That's a lot. Ain't that a lot? Yeah. Ooh, okay. And what's the heart of the matter for the divine? Well, thank God I ain't too long today. And for the divine masculine. Okie dokie. So, pull that back. Put this here. So for the divine feminines, woo, you got a lot. You got a story. This weekend for the divine feminines here, you are your finances and your career. Some of you all are really about your hustling and flow this weekend. You really seeing how that's making a thing, because I seen in somebody's, who was that I was watching so I could get an homage, they're saying that some of them are now instinctively, that's K Moon again, that one's good, it's 2 hours, so you got to dedicate 2 hours to listen to it, say that are instinctively like getting on that hustle and flow because they feel like they got to kind of make way for their divine counterpart, especially if you're feeling about union is coming. And some of you all are instinctively is like, you know, I got to get my house in order. You know, you're getting these projects. It's like you're building your empire. I remember Daniellleboomlle saying that, building your empire, getting ready, you know, because you like when they come in, all they got to do is this, either they're going to be there to support you, or some of them again, I know this is going to be a trigger warning for some of you all like, what? I ain't going to be supporting him. But some of them might be coming from this situation. Their money ain't quite right. But, you know, they might say, you know, I want to try this union thing here. And they might come your way and say, you know, listen here, I'm coming from this. I want to try it. I got some money. But, you know, sometimes it might be a little funny sometimes. But this is what I want. I want to be with you. You know, can we work something out? You know, whatever it is like that. Some of you all know instinctively, let's be honest, that, you know, the situation that they're coming from is like that you don't, you know, whatever it is good for you. That's, they say, whatever your heart space feels like you are able to sustain or to stand in that situation, then you and your divine master work that out for you, that makes it good for you and them together. So they're saying about this finance. That's the first thing that came to mind about that, is saying, you know, some of you all say, I got to get my finances together. These careers, too, she talked about this, too. Might even feel like some of you all are getting pushed to say, I think I'm going to have to let that career grow. I don't feel like this right. Because, again, energetically, it might be holding up space for you and your divine counterpart to kind of come together. It's something maybe better suited energetically for you. And so that's why this is probably a thing, because again, it wants you to help you to release your feminine energy again here. This is right, and so everything can be able to flow. You need to get into that, because you're moving in the energies of understanding that this is going to be able to help you know who you are as a person. You're going to discover how wonderful you are, how magical you are. Your hopes and wishes is going to be fulfilled, and it's going to help you to understand about your love. Also, it's going to help you to also have something to celebrate in yourself emotionally, because you're opening the key to who you are, and it's the key to value. And then you're also going to have this new beginning, and even then you're going to be able to breathe once you get these finances under control as well. Some of you all, you need to retreat. I had said that before. Some of you all, if you're readers, or even if you are not readers, I had said that it's time to kind of some of us to get disconnected, because some of us are operating from that heartbreak, and we're still doing our work. We got shadow work that we need to be working on, and we need to really be concentrating on that. That came to me very strongly too, about readers and others. But you feel like you need to disconnect, because that same thing, like powers be, I didn't get any kind of orders in for my divine. I was like, what's going on? It's like, because we want you to rest and reboot over again, and sometimes they will do that as well. Some of us need to kind of take that break to kind of reboot, because again, we're operating underneath. There's like an iceberg underneath here. You dealing with some heartbreak, some stuff that's going on, and on top of it, it's like, I'm fine, okay, I'm dealing cards, I'm doing and doing whatever. That's on the job. That's rather you reading or whatever like that. Maybe the COVID is getting to your brain, and you're like, oh my God, you know, if I do another thing here, I need to take time out to kind of get yourself back together, because they said it's going to stop. This came in reverse. This fork in the road issue that you have, you don't know which way you are. I always say, don't move till you see it. Sometimes when you get away from a situation and you look from it from a distance, you can get a better outlook and a better view. Like my dad said, for you to form an opinion, you got to get all the facts. So sometimes you got to kind of pull back so you can go gather all those facts. You can't do that while you in the thick of something, or you doing readings, or you out there in the field and you helping people and it's a health response, or whatever that you're doing a job, and you can't, or you're in the thick of being in this common situation, a third party situation. That's why it's good for you to retreat and say, let me pull all my energy and my resources so I can really try to get myself back together, so I can be able to pick a direction. Because some of you all, you saying, you can stick a fork in me, I'm done. That's going back to what Lee's talking about, that heartbreak that's actually going on now here. And then also, again, taking this and being able to get some more knowledge about things and become wiser too, because some of you all are using like ancient old ways of being able to get you from point A to point B. They say they want you to get back into playfulness, the swing of things. Somebody said also swing is like the alchemy of being able to, that's like the natural flow of life, and the rather rhythms and all the elements and things like that. And so that, I thought that was interesting as well. So they said to capture romance, allow your inner youth spirit of fun to shine. So again, that's trying to help you to get back and just to go with the flow and get into the fluidity of things, not trying to force things to actually happen. As well, Lee said that about that too, about into union, because again, some of you all need to come to the edge about things when it comes to love. Again, I said that, and Lee had said that too, as well, as about us. Some of us are scared to be vulnerable, and this kind of requires for us to be vulnerable in this. Some of us know that we got the divine timing here. This here lets you know it's time to again to let things go. You got to release something to get it, so you got to end something to begin something. This is what you're dealing with. This is what you got to be able to do in order for you to have this playfulness and have this fluidity. Is you can't be like, I'm staunch down on the idea. You have to be open and receptive to new ideas, to new things. That's why I said when you're asking for divine truth, it will show up to help you to know about if you're actually going in the right direction. I think about a conversation I had with April, and I was like, I thought one way. Spirit came. I had my person, my friend, classmate from high school that passed away. And she's like, "Oh, listen here, that quote that she just told you about, you got it too. I gave it to you as well. Ooh, I gave it to you as well." And I was like, "Okay, case closed. So you won that argument there." And so then I was like, okay, that's the end. That's the end of that one. You got to be open. You can't be so staunch down on that. And I didn't have a problem. I mean, I said I was wrong. You were wrong on that. But there's times that, again, when you know what you know and you stand in your reserve as well. So understand, again, you got to be able to understand there's no place like home. Really understanding what's really, truly home is like where the heart is. Where is your heart? Where are you checking in with your heart as well? Where is that also being? Where does your heart lie? Where is it leading you to be? How does it give you certain direction on things, especially as far as you being in the flow and being playful again? Because you know exactly what makes you feel home. You know where your heart actually lies too. So that's interesting. It goes to the next one, which is this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. You already know who it is. You already know who's leaving the lighthouse or the light on. Who is really the one that, who's out there exploring and who's being explored too as well. They're saying this for the divine feminine. The heart of the matter is because some of y'all is really denying yourself that this is actually one, that's really where your heart is. You're lying, you're denying to yourself about that. Because the reason why you're doing that is because you feel orphaned. You feel like they left you out in the cold. They iced you with this, and they left you, put you on a pedestal, and they left you up there at the same time. But at the same time, just like Lee said, and I've been saying that, just like they doing that, and you isolating them, you also are isolating and cutting yourself off too, as far as love. So you got to look and see how is that mirroring back to you. Maybe not in the same form as what your divine counterpart did, but you have to look at that and understanding again, this is the romance of a lifetime here. Some of us, again, this weekend, it's coming up to you to really saying, okay, is this truly the romance? This is a romance of a lifetime. Stop being in denial about it, and then start working on what things do you need to heal emotionally. I think about it when I listened to Lee and Sherry today, and there was one young lady. He was like, I hear your inner child talking, and he's like, what in your inner child did you deny? And she wasn't getting it. The caller was. She's going jumping all around it. I understand, about what was the question he was asking really about, if you were in a situation and she's wondering and wanted to know why was let me get the words together, why was her being with why was she with her person, but at the same time they was married? What was the point of that being in a relationship together? And why did that have to be part of the journey? Something like that. And he was trying to tell her about a thing. I don't want to word it wrongly, but you have to watch it. But he was trying to tell her about some of the hurt and what was she doing to herself, and how was that mirroring out too as well. And that caused an issue for that. And so, a lot of us, it's the things that we got to mend within inside ourselves. Because again, I think he even talked about that because of the hurt and the pain, the child, how you learn from it. They were saying some of your wounds that you have, the hurt, some of these things that you're dealing with is not your things that you're dealing with. You're dealing with your parents' hurt, and you pass that down on, and you've got to deal with that. So that was kind of interesting that spoke about that as far as. So some of us has got to mend those things. We got to mend something within ourselves. We got to mend things with the divine counterpart. We got to mend some things also when we're talking about when we're talking about other people. So, because some of these things are stopping us from us to really truly be able to experience love and to see love when it's actually happening. The Divine Master says he feels like he wants to have this heart to heart, or he wants to connect to you heart to heart as well. I had this honest discussion about the feelings with each other. Okay, so some of these things might actually happen in 3D. Some of these things might happen actually in 5D. Because he feels like if he can have this heart-to-heart connection, this is help him to get a leg up on the situation. And then also he feels like it's going to gain him to have some confidence emotionally. And it might also have you to have some confidence in the relationship too, as well. So look for this conversation to occur, maybe in the 5D, 3D, whichever way. But he's going to have this conversation. If he's going to send it to you through a song or something that's going to help give you a leg up that he feels maybe energetically you're ready, so he can be able to reach you heart to heart. Okay. What's going on? We're going 25. What is going on with the connection? What are they thinking about the connection? What is the divine feminine thinking about the connection? What is the divine masculine thinking about the connection? Yeah, that's kind of make it clear, make it plain. You did, but I want to. Okay, you did. It's kind of self-loving. That's quite a bit. Okay, so the divine feminine wants really, she's getting nostalgic. She's probably thinking about the divine masculine. That's why I was like along with Lee and Sherry. Lee was saying most of it, and also K Moon saying this heartbreak, getting very nostalgic about this stuff here as well. It's probably causing to me, like I said, 3-ring circus. Because when I see them like that, it reminds me of Dumbo in the circus where they got them like doing dancing. With this, it's a lot of activities, things are going on, but the divine feminine really wants the divine masculine to be in his heart space, and she's really being open and for him to be the carrier of it. That's what they're thinking about this connection. When they think about this connection, really wanting it to be a balance of between light and dark, the shadow and their light self. Really having this deep commitment, trying to start a new chapter as well. Understanding she wants the divine master to be truly in his heart space in this connection as well, too. And really being able to hold on to each other. And like to be, I see this moon down here, this in a crescent, which means really getting rid of these illusions that's going on. Again, this is in the heart space again, having the divine masculine in his heart space. Both of them being in the driver's seat when it comes to this, really being able to put down, that does not look like a sword, but not quite. The divine masculine is being nurtured by the divine feminine. Look like their little legs is entangled, so that I can say that if we talk about entangled, this is the only energies and things that I want to be entangled is with you only. But we're both in the driver's seat when it comes to this. With the divine masculine, you got a story here. The divine masculine wants the divine feminine to be very flexible when it comes to this connection. He understands he's maybe been asking her to be bending over backwards when it comes to this, but he wants her to be flexible in this situation. He wants her to also be able to be comfortable and be able to be in her confidence, but he's also willing to put the sword down and stop being defensive or protective of himself in this, and he wants to really help in that, help her to be receptive to the connection. The divine master also wants to be, it looks like really some intimate time. Him being in his heart space, being connected again, helping the divine feminine to be open to it, and really look like she's just loving it and just really being lost in it, just like just really being intimate with this. He understands also that when it comes to this connection, that it's also had the divine feminine to be the one who was pleasing him, but it's also, he's saying some of them say they do miss this action or do like this action for their divine feminine. I like popsicles. I like you lick my popsicle. So here in this connection here, we're equally wanting to have an equal balance of both being open. He wants to be in his bliss when it comes into this, and then also with her, as far as her communication too, to be open to it, because it's like an open sweater. Divine masculine understands that the divine feminine is more aware. She's more so in the leadership. I don't like leadership, but she's more aware and helping to gauge and guide this relationship as well. He's still in his bliss, and he wants to be like in his bliss, although he knows divine feminine is very vulnerable, open and receptive to things, understanding that he wants to be in the place where he's in his bliss, being in that position. So while she's on her grind and doing her work and really looking out for the connection, he's there to support her as well, but keeping it, and she's open at the same time with this. This divine masculine here, when he thinks about the connection again, he wants to put the sword down, he wants to put the shield down, which is being defensive on that, and then also finding ways for them to be equally balanced. To me, they cross in this trinity, this sacred triangle between just these two here as well, but they both are balancing each other. Okay, and then also the divine masculine really wants the divine feminine to be like really domineering, just like really show me that you want this. Like you hear someone say, "But how much you want this?" Yeah. Well, you gotta show me how much you want me. So it's like, yeah, and then I just look back, because it feels like, again, it's not just him doing the work, but that way, of course, all men do want that. It's like, I'm gonna be initiating all the time. I mean, sometimes I like you to show me that you want me too, and that's what I'm picking up from that, is that he's saying that he wants, it's like I want you the right way, but I want you, and I want you to want me too. Want you to want me too. Just like I want you. Do, do, do. All right, Bob Gay. Hey. So what's actually going on? What's actually going on? Ooh, I came outside. Make it clear, make it plain for the divine feminine. That's because I get scared, because it's like, there's too many cards, Jesus. I'm going to be here all day. So that's why sometimes I'll be like, Okay, so what's going on actually with the divine? This is what they're thinking about the connection, what they want. The divine feminine is like, okay, we got here this Five of Swords here, where it is like, he really wants the divine feminine to be very vulnerable. He wants her to kind of really reveal herself, but he knows that right there in the past, when it comes to it, excuse me, gotta release it, divine feminine. You even looking at this making you nervous. Here is saying this truth has been slanted here. And this is kind of like it's in the past, it's not in front of them. So in the past, it's been slanted here. And so really wanting to be very vulnerable, especially you got this back of the heart being shown here too. And so this is a way of also being able to wanting to be vulnerable here. And it looks like this is a blue. So to me, in some ways, I said the communications too. As well, but she looked like she said, I'm still in my power, and she's still playing with you at the same time, but you like, yeah, something about with the divine feminine, she's saying she wants him to come, but she still got power even in this, although wanting the divine masculine wants you to become vulnerable. You feel that he wants you to do, but some of you all is like, to me, if you got your arm like that, that's kind of hard. If you take the clothes off, it's like, yeah. Like, well, put your arm down so I can take it all the way off. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I really quite want to do that just yet. Maybe I'll mess with your head, that distract you. And you're like, no, put the arm down so I can really, it's like, So some of you all is like they want that vulnerability to be revealed, but just like so much, not all the way. The divine masculine really wants to reach out and touch you all. He's like, I like that booty. That booty. So he want to really reach out and touch. He wants this new beginning, and he also wants that, like this peace dove, that be a peace about this, like offer this peace too as well. And so he's kind of a little scared to kind of do this. He's a little shy, a little apprehensive in doing this, but he still really want to do it. It's like, but you pretty much you got your boots that's made for walking, and that's what's kind of scaring the divine masculine, because like you could get up and say, okay, that's enough. You just touched it a little bit. You get 2 seconds touching my butt, and then I'm up. It's like, that's it. Like, dang, I was just enjoying it. I was just about to give me a fistful. Like, that's enough, sir. Thank you. Next, no, I'm playing. We ain't doing that. But like, that's it. So, right here, he's a little apprehensive, but he really wants to reach out and touch out to you all, very much so. Let's see, So, what is the energy source wants for you to move into? Divine feminines. And divine masculines. Ooh, you see that? Oh, nice. Okay, so we got Queen of Wands. They want you to get comfortable in the skin that you're in, right where you are. Be able to manifest things right where you are, and then also move into action, okay? This is like, to me, in the seat of your soul. We got Queen of Wands here, so really being of your actions. Got this 2 of Cups here, too. Being able to bring the light and the dark, which is, again, that heaven and the earth experience together, to be able to fill up your cups here as well. This, again, is like a form of you becoming into union with self and having enough to overflow for other people to be able to benefit. As well, and that also could be also the thing about even with your masculine on the outside. Again, want you to become a King of Wands, so you got a nice balance here. You got the Queen and the King, so in your emotions and in your thinking, they want you to get to the point right here where you are beating to the beat of your own drum. Who gives a about him like that best friend? I don't give a So you almost, everybody's laughing. That best friend was a trip of the corner. So you at this point is like, I'm beating my own drum. I want my freedom. Freedom is right there in the background here, which is really like a person that's like really supporting you. That's the idea of why you are doing the things that you are doing. This interest in this orange is really popping off. So how you connected to others, how you making things manifest, really is a point that is a point that's like a really like a background right there that's really helping propel you to go into your next thing. For the divine masculine source, say they want you to get into the star energy there. Get yourself connected. That's why they say while you're dreaming, we're connected. This is going to help you with your emotions, to help you to be able to focus in on what you need to actually manifest, especially what we're talking about in the spiritual. So in order for what's happening in the 5D realm to come down, you've got to get yourself locked in and focused in. That's why they say when you lift your head up in the alpha state, you can start really like daydreaming and start manifesting, making things move and shift when you move your gaze up high and be in, and also hold on to it. It's just like, I just want it, but if you're holding on to it, that means you're also doing the work to make sure that you're anchoring it in. This is what they want you to do. Okay, and then also tell me what's the underline for the divine twin flames? What are they destined for? We've seen the overall. What's the underall thing for divine, both of them, for the collective? They say the overall energies is that it's about the spiritual, the spirals of manifestation. They want you to be diligent. Very good. They want you to be into leadership. There go that bear there again. That's moving with brute force there. Type of see a bear, that means you're moving. You're on the move. And to be openness. This is the under, because again, about these illusions and like being able to really truly connect the dots so you can really become celestial. And you know, go beyond where you are. You be like I say, if you aim for the moon, at least you be, and you miss, at least you be amongst the stars. That's what Les Brown said. And so this helps you. So if you aim up high and you be open to it, it doesn't matter which way it's going to manifest. You're not really you're aiming for it, but you're not locked into result. you'll get something there and beyond with that. Okay, all right there. Is there any message? Well, I got the last part. What is the message that, what does the divine feminine want to say to the divine masculine this weekend? What does the divine masculine want to say to the divine feminine? And then it's a wrap. Clear. Put about you. Out you out you out you All right, divine feminine is saying to the divine masculine, act as if your partner is here. Whether you have someone in your life or not, act as if they are with you, so you will always consider them. So they want you to start acting divine masculines like they are actually with you instead of them being in separation. That will help to be able to draw them in, and then energetically they'll know where they kind of stand. That's what they're saying. Rest and relaxation is essential. We all have a fundamental need to take breaks. Again, really when you're going to sleep, which is like they said earlier, for you to be able to really get the fundamentals of things. So relax. You too maybe need to retreat in your divine feminine energies, although they said it for them, but they're saying you probably need it as well. And then they say, love who you are. You are a divine and wonderful person, deserving all of the wonderful things that life has to offer. So start believing that you are a lovable person and you deserve that, because a lot of the divine masculine, some of them, do not feel that they deserve this type of love from their counterpart. And for the divine masculine to the divine feminine, you got released divine masculine. They think is choose love. You always have a choice as to what you should do. And they say, and whatever you do, choose love. And like I said in my trigger warning, choose your heart. Whatever your heart says. Again, choose love. You still there. You say, if you're not, then follow whatever your heart is telling you to do, but not just because your mind is telling you. All right, then, get your divine. The commercial will follow afterwards. Make sure that you get your Divineunisouls 11. Get your Divineunisouls love letter, so you can be able to know what is in the heart of your person, and what should you be doing, or what should you know at this time. Like I say, they're open, they're honest, and you get a real good insight as to what's going on with them. So make sure you take advantage of it for $14. Also, don't forget, I do have the InstaReadings as well, where you can get, if you want to get a reading real fast, 24/7. You can, at any time of the day, you can get your own reading as well. You have out of 11 already downloadable readings. You have what's this? It's more than 7. It's up there. I think it's 11 and 8. You got some solutions, and you got some solutions and some situations. Situation readings is $7. If you don't know what the situation is, I have that. And then $4 is for the solutions as well. So make sure that you get that. I had somebody order today, and I said, that's interesting. She got a love letter and she ordered a solution, which was very interesting. I said, okay, that's true. So you could already know what the solution is to the love letter when I give it to you. So that makes sense. So you can use it in any old kind of combination you do. And I do have some more projects that once they come and solidify, I'll tell you about what's going on. So I've been cooking up some things over here in the lab too. So once we get there, I'll let you know about what that is. Okay? As always, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste, namago. Love you. Enjoy your weekend.